Hello everybody, this is Coach Shafto. Today we are working on IXL 6th grade, AA.4. And we're learning how to solve one-step inequalities. As a quick review, remember that if I have a closed circle, it means that it is equal to the number. If I have an open circle, it means it's not equal to the number. It might be less than that number, it might be more than that number, but it's definitely not exactly that number. And if I have a closed circle with an arrow, it means it can be less than that number and also equal to that exact same number. In this assignment, you have a goal of reaching 70. If you want a challenge, you can go all the way to 100. You can find other assignments on Google Classroom. To begin, I want to just remind everybody that we are solving here. So in this case, I'm solving for S. And so basically what I need to do is it says S is less than or equal to 3 times 2. That dot, remember, means multiply. So in this case, this is just an easy one to solve. This is S is less than or equal to 6, and I'm done. And this one's pretty easy too. It says A is less than 4 divided by 4. And we know that 4 divided by 4 is 1. Here, it's F is more than 2 times 2. So I'm just going to write F is more than 4. Now it gets a little bit harder because we've got numbers and letters on the same side. And if you remember how to solve equations, we want to set this up. So I've got 2y is greater than or equal to 10. So what I want you to do is I want you to pretend like this is just an equal sign. And if that were an equal sign, this says that 2 times something needs to be more than or equal to 10. And so if we pretend that, we can pretend like this is a wall, and then we're just going to solve. This is 2 times y, and the inverse operation of 2 times y is dividing by 2. And I'm going to do that using a fraction bar. If I do it on one side, I have to do the same thing on the other side. Otherwise, my equation is not balanced. Here, I have a 2 in the numerator and a 2 in the denominator, so that makes a whole. So I'm left with a whole y, and this is greater than or equal to 10 divided by 2, which gives me 5. So my answer now is y is greater than or equal to 5. In this next assignment, it says 4h is less than or equal to 8. And so we're just going to set it up. 4h is less than or equal to 8. And again, I'm going to pretend like this is an equal sign. I draw a line down the middle to keep my sides clean. This is 4 times h, and the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So I'm going to use a fraction bar to divide, and I do that on both sides. 4 in the numerator and 4 in the denominator makes a whole, so I'm left with 1h, and this is less than or equal to 8 divided by 4 is 2. And so my answer here is going to be h is less than or equal to 2. In the next one, it has addition, and so we get the idea. It's u plus 8 has to be more than 10. So if I took u plus 8, it has to be more than 10. And so in this case, I can, again, draw my line, and the opposite of plus 8 is minus 8. So I'm going to do minus 8 on both sides, and this gives me 8 minus 8 makes 0. And again, I'm left with 1u by itself, and 10 minus 8 is 2. So all of my answers have to be less than 2. And this makes sense, because if I had 0 plus 8, that would be 8. And 8 is less than 10. I'm going to write u is less than 2. Jumping to the next level, I could have h plus 11 is less than 13. H plus 11 is less than 13. I'm going to draw my line, and I'm going to say minus 11 because I want h by itself, and I do that on both sides. 11 minus 11 gives me h by itself because that makes 0. And then I have 13 minus 11 gives me 2. So what I'm saying is all of my h's have to be less than 2. So for example, 0 could work. So would 0 plus 11 be less than 13? Yes. Would negative 10 plus 11 be less than 13? That would be 1. Yes, that works. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to say h is less than 2. The last one that I'm going to do is y divided by 3 is more than 2. So I've got y over 3 is more than 2. And in this case, again, I'm going to say y divided by 3. The opposite of dividing is multiplying. So I'm going to multiply by 3 in the numerator over 1. The reason I did that is because 3 over 1 is a fraction. Here I have 3 in the numerator and 3 in the denominator, and those cancel to give me 1y by itself. But if I multiply times 3 over 1 on this side, I have to do it on the other side. And this gives me y is greater than 6. So I'm going to end up with y is greater than 6. Remember that in this assignment, your goal is to get to 70, and for a challenge, you can go all the way to 100. All of their assignments can be found on Google Classroom.